Hello everyone. Our project topic is MOULD monitoring system. We are a project group of 4 members. Myself, Derek David. Other members are Aditya Khalkar, Anvay Paralikar and Kalpesh Patil. Our internal guide is Professor S. A. Tadekar sir. Our external guide is Mr. Nikhil Butra sir. Our project is sponsored by Taparia Tools Nasik. This industry is located in Satpur. It produces various type of tools from molds made in the industry. The supplier company is located in Nasik, Maharashtra and is leading suppliers of products. Management of products and variety of material is vital so as to realize the greater efficiency. Monitoring of products and keeping live tracking is becoming difficult. So we developed a web-based application which will keep in tracking of the mold and also monitoring of the products. So we are starting the client as well as server in this particular section. Now we have requested for client. Now we do the same for server. So now we start the web-based application using the given link. So we have created a login section for this system. There are 6 login pages for this system. So this Aditya name is for admin. We have created 9 type of input screens for this web-based application, which will later help in report generation. Also, we can add a member if a new member joins the organization. We have 4 departments: admin, IT, production, quality. We can also add a member using mail ID, password, and new member can be added for data entry purpose. Now in first screen, we search a screwdriver tool. In this there are various attributes which will be used to enter the data. After entering this particular information, the data is stored in the database. So now we are selecting the date. Likewise, for each mold there is particular date, number, cavities, etc. A mold manufacturing date also depends on the number of factors. Mold, there are 3 type of mold class: A, B, C. So these various attributes are used in this input screen because this will be used for generating the report later. These reports are interlinked with each other. So all input screens are important for generating the report. So these details are filled for the first screen. So for UI generation, we are using React.js. So what is React.js? React.js is basically a JavaScript library maintained by database tables by Facebook. So for this 9 input screens, we have used React.js. So for this 9 screens, we are using 9 UI. So the framework used in React.js is Bootstrap. There are various inbuilt libraries in React.js which will help to reduce coding. That's why React.js is selected for creating the UI. Also, we can see that there are various input screens which are required to fill the data so that report can be generated at the end. So this is the second input screen in which we are entering the data. And likewise, in all input screens, we have to fill the same type of data. So this is the third input screen. We are searching for a particular tool, and from that there are various attributes which will be needed to enter the data. So the remark for mold maintenance is written, the inspection date. This all work is done by the data entry person. So here we can see that admin has every right to see all the data's input screens. there are 4 departments: IT, admin, production, inspection. So each department has their own login and they can only see their only visible screens. For example, admin has all the right to see all screens, but the production department can only see 2 screens, like production department screen. So there are various screens which will be there in this web-based application, but only the admin has the right to see all screens. So their security has been provided in this application. So now for filling the data, we are using React.js for input. So the data that is being submitted here in all the screens, that data is stored in MySQL database tables. So for 9 UI screens, for each we have made a table. When we fill data or input in that table, that data is stored in MySQL tables. So now the data that we are entering here, like enter date, vendor name, and at the end when we are submitting this type of data, this is being stored in MySQL data tables. So for 9 UI, we have made 9 different MySQL tables. So these all factors, attributes that are there in this, all the screens are interrelated with each other. So now in this screen, some type of data may be related with the other screen. So at the end, when we are going to generate the report, all the data is going to be interrelated and a report is going to be generated. So now we are selecting various attributes. These all are the attributes which will be required later. The date is the most important factor in this report generation. There is only a specific mold number for each and every mold. Also, when we are going to generate the report, it is done on basis of the date. So this is another input screen of report updation. We search the tools, we search the product name, product number, mold number, entry date, vendor name. There are different vendor names like Amol Industries, various plastic industry. So this type of the data that is available is already stored in as a master table. So there is no need to search or type for every industry. It is already available in drop down section. The remark section is always there in each and every screen. So this all type of work is done by using React.js. All the input data, all the filling of data and storing of data is done by React.js. So this is the 8th input screen which is done with the help of React.js. We select the date, vendor name. These attributes are to be filled by the data entry person. So all the data is being filled now, and at the end we are submitting. When we click the submit button, this data is being stored in MySQL database table. So this is our last input screen, delivery order system. So in this, the delivery that is going to be done or which is going to reach to the industry is being understood. And by this, when we search for delivery order report system, it may be linked with some of the other input screens. So in this way, this many input screens are required. And at the end, we will see the further part of report generation.
Hi, my name is Anvay Paraikar and I will be continuing further and speak on report generation. Until we finish filling the data for the last screen, I will give you a brief idea about report generation. It is the last stage of our project in which the report are to be displayed in a specific grid format from the data filled in the above screens. For generation of reports, we have created a dashboard screen at the top which contains all the reports to be displayed in a drop-down list. So here we are in the dashboard section where I will select a specific report from the drop-down list. Thereafter, I will select the dates between which the reports are to be displayed. So here, I have selected the first report, which is named as MOULD rectification. So here, I have put in some dates between which the first report is generated. So as you can see, here is the first report which displays the data for some specific attributes pulled from the 7 input screens. Now we will move on to the second report, which is the weekly inspection report. Here too, I will put in some date in the from and to box. In the from box, I will insert 1st Jan 2020, while in the to box, I will insert 20 Jan 2020. Now for the second report, it contains 3 tables where a filter has been added based on the column called samples part name. The first table contains only the data for FPA, whereas the second table displays the running inspection and third table displays the LPA. Now we will go to the third report. Here I will select some date where it shows a blank report because no data has been filled for those data. As you can see, a blank report is displayed as no data is filled for the month of June. Similarly, we will select the remaining report as we have done for the earlier. Now going further, I will explain how these reports are generated. For every report displayed in the drop-down list, I have created an API call and given a post method to it. So a single API is linked to a single report, which gets an HTTP request from the front-end UI after we click on the generate report. The post API in return gives an HTTP response to the React.js. Also, for every report, we have created a SQL query which binds all the input screen together, and only the attributes required in the report are passed to it, and thus reports are generated. Thank you.